Hi everyone, it's Marie here. Super excited, like super excited. I've come to talk to you today about two new things have happened today. One is we're creating a new group called the Skeins Speak Easy, and we've also got a new yarn range to talk about, a new page. I tell you what, it is all go. But first, I need to talk to you about Skeins Speak Easy. Skeins Speak Easy is a new group that we've created as a way to actually be able to talk to you guys more direct and more one-to-one. So it's a closed group, similar to a couple of the other larger groups that are available, woolly groups that are available on Facebook at the moment. But it is a place that you can talk and share a lot of your skein stuff, share your skeins projects, ask us questions about yarn substitutions, recommendations for patterns, get advice, ask about what's going on at the shop, when things are coming in, all of those sorts of things, because we get lots of private messages through Facebook, we get emails, plus we also have the Ravelry page. And what some of the feedback we've had from you is that actually a group that you can have that open discussion going all the time would be a huge help. And the nice thing about that group is that I will be there, Claire, who also runs our shop downstairs, she will be in there, and we'll be adding other people from the mill as well. So you've got direct access that the experts will be able to get back to you and let you know what's going on. And also I get all these wonderful private messages from people showing me this stunning work. And we want you to be able to show us your stunning work. We want you to be able to share what you've made with everybody else. So the group has now been set up. We're absolutely delighted, really thrilled. So it's called the Skeins Speak Easy, and don't panic, I will be setting up a link for the group at the end of the video, so you'll be able to get across to that. Now, once you get into that group and you get approved and you're in there, the pinned at the top of that group page is going to be a link for a special Speak Easy page hidden in the folds of our website. On that page at the moment, there is a dozen yarns which so that page, really, there's a dozen yarns in there, and you essentially become like a virtual local. There are things there that aren't available currently on our web store because the stocks have fallen below a certain level, or we never carry a lot of that stock to begin with from some of the other smaller suppliers that we do. So you never realise that we stock these yarns and we don't put them out on the wider page, but they will be available for Speak Easy members only. So yeah, so essentially you become like a virtual local. You'll be able to get access to things that locals can get when they come in and visit. And I know when many of you pop round and visit and come in and see us for the first time, you're like, wow, I didn't even realise you had this or you had that, and I didn't see this online. So I will be adding to those yarns as time goes by to give you more and more access to things, and hope and things like remnant specials and all sorts of fun stuff. So that will be available on that Speak Easy page as well. But there are 12 items there at the minute, and once you get your membership in place and you get across there, you'll go, oh, because I'm really thrilled. We've got probably one of the leading indie dyers that's got some yarn on there at the minute, and which is a great way to launch the Speak Easy page. And the new yarn that I've just popped up there today on the Speak Easy page, you may have seen teased before on Instagram. And yes, I know I'm the world's worst selfie taker, and I will do anything to show beautiful yarn. I'm really quite shameless like that. But I had to laugh. I arrived this morning, Claire had popped a huge big basket of yarn on my desk of everything that had been receipted into the shop for me to get up online. And sitting on here was this yarn, which I knew was coming through the pipeline. And it just made me laugh because I must have psychically known that it was coming through today. Because as you can see, I'm perfectly colour coordinated with my yarn today. It's most important a girl is coordinated with her yarn. And this is called Corduroy Mustard. We've been playing around with dye techniques, and so this is a yarn, it's a 10-ply or worsted yarn. Lots of you, I know, have been looking for that slightly heavier weight. It's in an alpaca wool blend, predominantly alpaca, 320 metres, and this is a 200 gram ball. So we've done them off in these 200 gram balls. The dye effect we'd been playing around with was a way of a bit like highlighting your hair, you know, giving sort of highlights and lowlights without being overly semi-tonal, so it sort of somewhere sits in between. So we've just sort of been playing around with that, and it has got a very soft highlight and low light in here, but as you can see, it's a fabulous colour. I love it. Some of this will be coming home. Do that right now. Absolutely beautiful, gorgeous and soft, and we've done it in the 200 gram balls just to make it easy. It's a perfect yarn if you're looking for a project to whip up nice and easy and quick. Gorgeous and soft, and it's priced really, really sharply because we only have a limited range. Basically, it was whatever was in the direct trial. $15 for a 200 gram ball, predominant alpaca. I think it's 80-20 alpaca merino. It is absolutely stunning. Speak Easy members only. So, and I've got other things to talk about, so don't run away. But when you jump off here, I'll put the link up for the Speakeasy, so you need to make sure you join the Speakeasy group first, and then you can get the link to the page, and then you can buy these. So really, really exciting. So I know you've been screaming out for worsted. I am trying to work on getting some more into the plan for next year. So it's always a battle, but it is definitely this one. I just love this one. So excited. I love it. Anyway, okay, enough of that. Now, also I popped up a wee tease a little bit earlier on the gram. Another range that we've just had come through, which was something that we've brought forward, funnily enough. It was going to launch early in the new year, and we've brought it forward to this year, is a replacement for Texas and Limbo. So you know that those are being specialed out at this stage, and we are starting to get down to the sort of the last final throws of the Texas and Limbo. So if you love those yarns and you want to stock up, you do need to do it now while they're pretty much at cost price, and that once they've gone, they've gone. But we weren't going to give you chunky lovers an absolute void. We had to make sure that we had something for you. And so this has come through a little ahead of time, and it is called Home. So that's the label there. Ooh, there we go, Home. And the yarn is designed, as you can see, there's some beautiful super chunky yarns out there, and those really big thick roving blankets. I mean, they really are quite stunning, quite beautiful. And if I had $1 for every time somebody's asked, can you make that yarn, or do you have that yarn, can you sell that yarn, I'd be quite wealthy. And I wouldn't, have to work probably. But the reality of it is that we don't have the machinery to do it, so of that thickness. The other problem we had is we did trial around with a few things, and even when it's partially felted, the downside of those roving yarns is that they look amazing, but they do have a tendency to sort of pill and shed and start looking a little bit shabby faster than you would like. So we've played around with lots of super chunks. Super chunkies is something that we love to make, and we do. And what we wanted to do was take sort of the smoothness of the Texas, which people just loved, but the wearability of the Limbo, which was the big positive of the Limbo, and create a yarn that sort of straddles the fence in both situations. So that's how we came about with Home. And this is Home. And it is an absolute gorgeous mix. So these are sort of some of the pastels. Look at that. Oh, there we go. Those are some of those ones there. And actually, I flipped up on Instagram a few weeks back a beautiful blush pink that's in the range. So there it is there. So it's basically, we've called it Home because we constructed it first and foremost, here's one that's easy to access, there we go, with homewares in mind. And what we've gone and done is it looks quite smooth on there. It is a 4-fold constructed yarn. Okay, so it's basically what this is our vintage on steroids, like on steroids. This is really thick. So it has it's basically the same handle as vintage that you used to feeling. So in terms of the softness and the feel, it's made from the same long Prebium fibres, New Zealand grown fibre, manufactured by us. And what we've gone and done is we've spun it round into, as you can see, it almost looks quite ropey in its appearance. But what this means, like our vintage, is that you get fantastic stitch definition, and it holds itself together. Now the beauty with this is that when it comes to making homewares, like if you're going to be making a cushion, I mean, that thing's going to be sitting at people's backs, it's going to have lots of friction, it's going to be used in bits and pieces. So you want to make sure it looks good really well. So then you can actually use this yarn on a smaller needle. This is, I think, a 10 or a 12. And there we go. So you can see there, beautiful stitch definition. Great, great stitch definition. But also too, the cover factor of that, at this size needle, it's nice and firm. So for something like a cushion or if you're doing some light upholstery, like if you've got a footstool, sort of stool puff thing, you know, you're wanting to crochet a cover for something like that, I would look at doing it on something like no more than that's a 15mm hook, or 10 to 15 millimeters, and that will get you a really, really good coverage factor for wearability. However, if you're wanting something a little bit richer and more anxious, and those larger scale blankets, you could then garter stitch this in a 20mm, just like you would do the limbo, and you get that beautiful, lovely, soft, squishy, melt yourself into blanket. And you could even go bigger again to give more of a sort of a laced effect if you were wanting to do something more like a waffle weave style, or if you were wanting to do a garment. And to be quite honest with you, a poncho, could you imagine? A beautiful, stunning poncho tasseled in something like that would be incredible. So it is, we've done it in 200 gram balls, so it makes it nice and easy. You've got plenty there to play with. It is, I'll tell you in a second, it is, that's not the best one because I can't see it. There we go. It is 71 meters a ball, and that's the thing, and it's nice and hard wearing. As I said, it is basically our vintage on steroids. So it will give you a really good finish. And I'm working with a designer at the minute. She's pulling some patterns together. So in the new year, a small pattern collection will come out with this as well. But there are over the next little bit, I'll start hunting out some patterns that will be suitable of what this looks like with home. So it is a really, really great little range. It still gives you those super chunkies that you love, but it's all just wonderful, beautiful, luscious kiwi wool, and it's just really excited about it. And that is live now. Oh God, banging the desk and everything shakes. That is live now. So if you go to the website under view by range name, and it is there under home, all the stock is up, ready and loaded, and yeah, definitely pick that up. Again, $15 a ball. Exactly, you heard that right. So it's priced the same as Southlander. Because it's in the larger format, we are able to get some savings on cost because it's less handling to sort of pull it together. So it's price equivalent to Southlander. I think it's, yeah, 15 a ball. Well, it might even be $14.95 actually. I need to check. Well, you know, tomato. Great value. Awesome value. So if you are doing some larger scale projects, it would be. And last but not least, and I still haven't actually quite got to loading these up yet, but I will. The other thing I've got here are a couple, and some of you may remember these from several years back. We had these effect yarns, and they are weaving effect yarns. They're called a Coromandel and Bombay, and what they are is actually a weaving yarn, see a little lace weight weaving yarn, and people have actually made some projects in these. It is wool. I love it. Designers just think, oh, watch the video. Do you want a poncho as well? Yes, Brenda. That would be lovely. Thank you. I think awesome. She's amazing. So this yarn here is it's a wool yarn with a binder, poly binder, and we designed it. It was a weaving yarn that we made many moons ago for a weaver. And anyway, in our clean out, we found some more of this in the mill. So we've gone and balled it off into 100 gram little squat 100 gram barrel balls. There's 333 meters per ball, so it's, you know, good mileage. What this stuff is absolutely brilliant is you can work with it on its own. So you can. Personally, having played around with this before, and I'm going to do this because I want to show you against this home, what this does do is if you're a weaver, the weavers will love this because it's great for weaving. So you can weave this on your own, fantastic. Adds lovely effect. if you are like me and you're a bit lazy and you like to sort of pull stuff together, what I have done with this yarn is that I've knitted it, double-stranded it, because it's fine. It's easy to double-strand it with other bits. So by knitting it in with something like this, so that's the home in the Ocean Beach, it just gives you, you can't really see that, it just gives you a really lovely, interesting extra piece of texture or colour to a project that you're doing. And it just, you know, it just gives something a bit of extra depth, a bit of extra pop. So that Bombay, for example, on that Ocean Beach colour will look incredible. It would also look, this Bombay will also look really amazing with the chill. So you can see, can you see it there? Amazing. And then this guy here, Coromandel, will work equally as well with the, that colour's called Crispin, and again with chill or even with the cream. So if you're wanting to sort of add a little extra layer of colour and texture interest to something that you're doing, those effect yarns are going to be on the sale page when I get them loaded. I photographed them, haven't loaded them. They're only going to be $2 each. So they are literally bargain basement price to clear. So I would suggest that you pick up a couple of balls of each colour. They're perfect to have in the stash for when you're wanting to add a little bit of a zhuzh or something, or even with a DK, you add it to a DK, it will take that yarn up to a worsted weight or a 10 ply, and then it's perfect for even adding a little bit of interest to trims or giving you, you know, as I said, a little bit of depth or something a little bit different in your fabric, particularly if you're doing lots and lots of stocking stitch. So it just, you know, breaks it up a little bit and makes it look really fantastic. So I will get that loaded up really quick. So I'll get that loaded up as soon as I'm done here. But the big things you need to remember. You need to remember that the Skeins Speakeasy is live now. I will be putting the link in the comments as soon as I get off here, and I'll be putting a post up on our main Skeins page on where to go to join that group. I'll also be sending out a newsletter this afternoon which will be about the Speakeasy and also the home, so you can go and have a look at that. I've got a nice group photo of that which shows you all the colours together, which is much better quality than the vid. And that corduroy mustard, if you really love that mustard colour, the only place you can find that is on the Speakeasy page. So to get to the Speakeasy page, you need to join the group. Okay, so I will get off and stop all this talking, get all that together for you now, and make sure if you have any questions, or start sharing your projects. So if you've just got fresh off the needle, hot off the needle projects, or finished object projects that you're doing, or you've been doing some knitting for Christmas, I want to see them. Load them up. We want to see them. We all want to share and bask in the beauty of what you've got there. So do make sure you get joined into that group and start sharing those items. And the most important thing is, if you have any questions, yeah, whack them up there. And honestly, I'm there, Claire's there, Baden's even there. You'll be surprised at what he knows. I'll be getting the rest of the team in there, but there's lots and lots of people. ISOs, it's a perfect place if you need to find an ISO, if you're running out of yarns and you need to find something. It'll all be able to happen on Speakeasy. So get yourself joined into there. I'll jump off now, pop the link up for you, and I will catch up with you next week and see how we're all getting on. We'll have a catch up in the Speak. It may even do a video in the Speakeasy. I don't know whether I can, Baden, but he'll let me know. He's my guru on all these things. But failing that, have a great weekend. Enjoy the sunshine wherever you are, and I will see you next week.